Hey guys, Adrian here for DigitalDojos.com, and as every year, I like to do my WWDC, that is Worldwide Developer Conference, Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference predictions for the year. It is 2014. I'm doing this on the first of the month now, so it's June 1st. And every year, like I said, I tend to do this video, the predictions video, and then I'll do a live coverage of it. So there'll be a live stream along with my good friend Duncan, or Mobile Phone 2003, where we'll cover the event. And then finally, my last video I always do is a full-on recap when we have the actual facts. Because right now, these are all predictions. These are just me reading off of the rumors, talking about what I think is more concrete and what is kind of up in the air as far as we're not sure what we'll see yet. So, like I said, WWDC, it's been a while since I've covered a lot of tech stuff. I've been really out of the loop, so I had to catch myself up. But there's two main focuses I think we're going to see at the Worldwide Developer Conference. If you don't know what that is, it's an event Apple holds every year where they tend to talk about new product launches, a big focus on software, obviously, and developers. So they'll talk a lot about the apps and sales and all that general stuff, and then move into the Mac and mobile market as far as software goes, and possibly talk about some new products. So first off, let's talk about the two big software things that are going to be mentioned, I believe, for sure at this event. That is iOS 8 and the new OS 10.10, which is probably and rumored to be called Yosemite. iOS 8 is going to be the new version of iOS 8. We saw the big iteration change from 6 to 7. That's the most recent big change we've seen with iOS. It's a whole UI overhaul. I don't think we're going to be seeing that again with iOS 8. I think we're going to see touches on the UI. We're going to see some, additional changes, but I think this time we're focusing more on functionality over form. We're going to be seeing more feature-rich stuff in iOS 8. So multitasking is going to be integrated in a new way, possibly. There's a lot of talks about widgets and iOS really starting to change up the feel of how it works. Because if you compare it to the original versions of iOS, it's still that common grid layout, the basic home screen, and all that. Where if you look around the market, obviously Android and different platforms have been doing crazy different things. So I think it's Apple's time to kind of integrate some new features to really play on its simple iOS. Now, by all means, iOS in itself is still very familiar, and that's what keeps it in one of the top positions. A lot of people know how to use it. And I think if Apple integrates anything like widgets or multitasking, they're going to do it in an Apple-like way where the look and feel is the same, but the functionality is integrated in a whole different way. And there's a lot of cool concepts regarding that. So, obviously it won't be confirmed till we see this preview of iOS 8 because they always give previews. They talk about the general features, but it's not going to be released for months later. So that being said, there's also talk about fitness apps and some other new native apps being integrated into iOS, being packaged with it. As far as the desktop end goes, OS 10 is said to be launched here. And hang on, let me just click on the screen so the screen doesn't go to sleep. OS 10.10, rumored to be called Yosemite. With the new Places thing they're doing, how they did Mavericks in California, they're doing Places in California. Yosemite is said to be on that. If you see this WWDC banner, it's a mountain in Yosemite and in the national park. So it's a big rumor that OS 10, the newest version of OS 10, is going to be called that. As far as the 10.10 is going to go, there's a lot of talk about it being design overhaul in terms of really integrating it with iOS 8. So finally bringing that unity in terms of the icons and the look and feel. That way, if you use a Mac, you're familiar with it on iOS. If you use iOS, you're familiar with your basic navigations around a Mac. So there's talks about how they brought iOS designers over to the OS 10 team to kind of help integrate that look and feel. So there's going to be a big Unity push. As far as other things, I mean, obviously they're going to try and make the operating system faster and all those, basic stuff. It's going to be more feature rich, I think, with this. It's going to just be some new features integrated, again, with tying that iOS 8 and Mac OS 10 desktop interface as a whole. So there's a lot of stuff we'll see there. As far as physical hardware, let's jump into that. The biggest thing I think they're going to talk about is iPhone 6. Probably, a big preview of iPhone 6. It's been a while since the 5S has been out. The biggest thing that they're going to be talking about, I think, the focus on iOS or iPhone 6 would be the bigger screen. It's definitely a market that's been moving up into bigger and bigger screens. While I don't think Apple is, going to move into the huge screen department like there is some Android phones out there, definitely a bigger screen than what's currently here on the 5S. As well as the common updates. It's going to be faster. It's going to be, hopefully some design changes and making it in terms of more durable and the glass and the metal and all that good stuff. The camera is going to be better. So you can expect all that common things, but I think the biggest focus that they're going to talk about is being the screen itself. Bigger screen, allowing for more space, possibly a higher resolution display and all that good stuff. As far as the iPad goes and the tablet end, the biggest thing that they'll be talking about on the iPad, aside from the speed enhancements and possibly some small UI design tweaks and stuff like that, is a Touch ID integration. They're finally, I think, this time around going to be integrating that Touch ID that's so famous on the iPhone 5s, the fingerprint reader, into the iPad, and I think they're just going to kind of push that along the line with the iPods and so on and so forth, because it's really great, secure technology, and I think Apple typically doesn't have one thing on one device; it unifies it across the line. So obviously you'll see a faster iPad, you'll see a faster iPhone, but the bigger focus is going to be on the Touch ID end and the screen ends of both devices. There's talks about them just upscaling those and making it more of a possible pro model for the iPad. Again, this is all just rumor and speculations. Now, I saved last year just miscellaneous topics that may be thrown out during the Apple WWDC event. If anything, these are the ones that are kind of off mark and can't be confirmed. But the Beats acquisition, I'm going to make a whole separate videos on this. The $3 billion acquisition that Apple made for Beats, the audio company, in terms of hardware, the headphones, and the software, so the streaming service. There's definitely going to be talks about how they'll integrate the streaming service into their whole ecosystem with iTunes Radio, etc. And possibly, just talk about the deal as a whole. I'm sure it'll be mentioned nearly at the end. Some totally off-brand things that people are talking about. The Apple TV may be receiving an update, the physical set-top box that Apple makes. And the iWatch. There's a lot of rumors lately with patents flying around and all these other things and leaks that the iWatch is finally going to be announced in Apple's wearable category. There's a callback a couple months ago with Tim Cook talking about them coming into new categories, Apple launching into new category spaces, and iWatches and wearable technology may be one of them. This may be an event for him to kind of tie it with everything. The iOS is being tied with OS 10 and the iPhones and etc. So I think, if anything, this will be the platform to do it. Again, this is just predictions of WWDC 2014. These aren't nothing that are concrete. I mean, if anything, we're going to see iOS 8. We're going to see OS 10.10 as it is the developers conference. Outside of that, everything is, again, up for grabs. So stay tuned for the full live coverage of the event. That's going to be June 3rd, I believe. Yeah, Tuesday. Wednesday for me because I'm a day ahead, and of course the full recap after the event is over and closed. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Love to hear your thoughts. What do you guys think about the iPhone 6, the new iPad, iOS? What do you guys want to see? What's on your wish list? Leave it all in the comments down below, and I will catch you all in the next video.